do you still remember where you lived for the first 5 years of your life? What memories do you have of that place? I moved around a lot. In 29 years of my life, I've moved around in 7 different places, and on average, I lived there for 4 years each. Today, I'm going to a place where I spent the first 5 years of my life. The world's tallest statue, the Statue of Unity. Man, look at the scale of this thing. This is a thumb. Now, I don't remember a ton about the place that I spent the first 5 years of my life in. I just remember a specific temple that I used to play at. I remember going skinny dipping into a river. I remember a traumatic experience in this particular school. And so I wonder if I revisit some of these places, what kind of feelings that I'm gonna actually come across. Really curious about that. There are some parts of the memory that are in the subconscious brain. And for me, the fact that I'm a huge fan of the nature, the mountain and the water, the plants, it makes sense because of all this right here. This is so beautiful and it's basically a reserved area. So the first 5 years of my life, I actually essentially lived in a national park. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is the temple that I would come here so often. This right here, this lawn, not so good right now. And the benches, this is where I would play all the time. And the place that I lived in is right behind it. It feels weird to come here when there is a lot of kind of gentrification happening, a lot of constructions occurring, and so I remember this temple being very beautiful with flowers and plants, but now it's just all construction stuff. This here. This is it. This is where our place was. It's been all destroyed. That's my dad taking a photo of the mango tree that was in the backyard. Right over there. very sad. અહીંયા આગળ શેડ હતું ને શેડ.
સેડ હતું. Yeah, you are right. ગાડી આપણે પેલા આપણી ભૂખતા હતા.
Ambassador.
Ambassador. Yes, still you remember. It's good.
I was really excited to come and see this house, but all it remains now are these trees and some rocks and us, the strangers to this land for 24 years. You know, we think that we own something, but you let it be and the ground just takes over, and it's actually the property of the earth. It's crazy.
વિચાર કરું છું કે આપણી સામે બે બંગલા હતા, પછી આ બાજુ હતો બંગલો, આપણી બાજુમાં હતો.
વનસ્પતિ આવી earth, mother earth.
જમીન ભેગું થઈ ગયું બધું.
When you're small, you think things are so far because you have small feet. I used to think that this temple was way further than it actually is. I definitely remember playing with these flowers. આમાં યાદ છે, મને આ યાદ છે, ચોક્કસ યાદ છે. Revisiting a space 24 years later was very interesting for me. It was very strange and it was very bizarre. You know, subconsciously I felt connected to that place, but it's really weird to see it grow and change as well, you know. I gained several feet since I left that place. So I grew quite a bit in the last 24 years, and strangely that place has also changed. And I was expecting to see the place that I grew up in, but it was essentially nothing there, and instead all the trees had grown, and it just made me feel that there's nothing that's permanent in this world, and that we all think we own something, but if you kind of let things be for 24 years, the mother nature kind of just takes over. And so there's beauty in that, right? Like it's kind of sad to not see that place that I grew up in, but there's also a sweetness or beauty in being able to just see trees grow there. The other thing that was really interesting for me to see from there was that this place was surrounded by the mountains, and you know, my first memory ever was of this dam that is built on this river, and my dad worked there, and so a lot of the conversations in the family at the time was about the dam and the river, and so I very vividly remember the water, I remember the dam. I just never remembered the mountains because perhaps it was just overseen at the time, and so it was not part of my first memory. But then when I visited the place, it was just beautiful and surrounded by these mountain ranges, and it was surreal to see that. Of course the river scene is like really beautiful too, and the dam still is there, and but again, really interesting for me to not remember the mountains. So that's what it was. It was kind of a weird feeling.